Malawi is a small but beautiful African country, situated between Tanzania, Zambia, and Mozambique. But it's also one of the poorest areas in the world, heavily affected by the AIDS epidemic. It has taken the lives of more than 1.5 million people in this small South African country. Over 800,000 children are orphans. Those that have not found a family or a place to stay hang out on the streets to survive.
Ango bada mwana akolo kumamwalira mara wankulu yemwe ndikunsunga nde ndikaleka kusunga uyoyo wa ukoyo kuraoni ndikagulitse zona chogulitsia nchani anthu amagulitsa anthu ife mwana ari kumfuna mama ari nangasi anthuwo ango ribika akuti ayi mwana ayoru mumebekeze akabwera iyayi mwana ayoru uyu arakulei panopo ayipire siku nderi mafuna kuti mwana ari kantani ndikantenge ndikanankhani akafika ukhotiko kufuna mwana ayo ndani akuti mumwembekeze kaya ndefe mwana ari kufunano panopo kuti mwana ari kantenge loko panopo khani makhayika.
Extended families like the Antonios have hosted the ever-increasing number of children left vulnerable by the epidemic. 1 out of 10 people in Malawi is HIV positive. 90,000 children live with the HIV infection. Adoption policies and laws are unclear, and government officials say they are concerned for the welfare of the children, but have made few attempts to regulate the adoption process. Orphanages have been built and children adopted, all with very little government regulation. And some people are getting rich.
It was in March '98 when I stood with a baby in my arms, and this little baby was actually, went to visit an orphanage. And I had this baby in my arms, and the child was dying of AIDS, and it just was horrific. And I had, been wanting to do something, and I'd prayed about it, and it was just as if God said to me, this is where you start, with these little babies. And I immediately then went about finding a house where I could start with an orphanage.
The problem with the international adoption, in most cases, it's also connected with the money laundering. Because at the end of the day, the adoptive part gives money to the orphanage. And the orphanage feels, oh, once we get money, we'll be better off. Let's identify a child fitting it's like shopping for clothes. Somebody says, oh, I want a child who has this, and the orphanage looks at that and says, this child fits that one.
Madonna, who adopted 2 Malawian children, organized a benefit dinner to help those affected by the epidemic.
Something poetic about the fact that we are no longer in America, but we are on a piece of land that belongs to the world. I decided to investigate for myself, and I ended up going on the journey of a lifetime. In the last 2 years, I have witnessed unbearable suffering and loss, but I have also witnessed the resiliency of the human spirit.
UNICEF estimates that at least 30,000 Malawian children have been sent out of the country illegally due to international adoptions. At this point, the government's ability to track down and find these children is inexistent.